All right, what's up, guys? Pitman here. So let's listen to a word from the
Last year I
dev
to make the most insane
of Choo Choo Charles, man.
game that I could, and so I started
This guy's
working
an
on a
indie
game called
developer.
Choo Choo Charles, where you navigate an island in an old train, upgrade it over time, and then use it to fight an evil spider train named Charles. But when I actually announced that I was going to be making this Charles game, it kind of blew up, and now people were expecting it to be a real thing.
God dang right.
Just one little thing, I had no fucking clue how to make an open world game. So when I started
Reminds me of
working on this
PewDiePie.
game, I knew that I didn't want to spend a really long time working on it because I was kind of in a situation where I didn't really have any money. So I wanted to get a game out quick so that I could start earning something. And so in order to motivate myself, I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll set an incredibly unrealistic release date and tell people that I'm going to create this entire open world game in like 4 months. I just figured for some reason that setting a really tight release date would make me more motivated. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Basically, since I knew from the start that this was unrealistic, I kind of just wasn't really giving it my all for like the first
Looks like Shroud,
4 or
man.
5 months. Because it's like, I knew that it wasn't possible to finish it that quick. So I was just like, it's okay. I know I'll have to push the release date back anyways. So I'll just take a week off to, I don't know, make YouTube videos and crap. And so after a few months of development and that early 2022 release window came and went, I went, well, yep, that happened. But
This dude's just like PewDiePie, man. Could be his brother.
Mechanics in. I'd started working on missions and stuff like that. I was starting to get a much better idea of how long it would actually take to develop the full game. And so with all these things in mind, I set a new, internally, just kind of secretly, my own secret little release date. I decided that I wanted to release the game in mid-August of 2022. This is a date that seemed pretty realistic based on how the progress was advancing. It seemed very doable. So I made a schedule, I was following it strictly. Everything was going really well until a few months before August, I decided to have a few people playtest the game and see if it was really on track and see how many bugs there were and all that kind of stuff. And what I found while testing the game with other folks was basically that the game was trash. Like really bad. Like it was... Shut up. It wasn't fun, it wasn't polished, the story didn't make sense, the mechanics didn't make sense. It was all horrible. And so I found myself at essentially this crossroads, if you will. I don't really know what that means, but I've heard it used in a similar context to this, so I'll just use that. And I basically had to decide, okay, I can just continue finishing the game, but it'll suck, or I can redo a ton of stuff, put in a ton more time, and have to push the release date back.
Good decision, man.
Again, even closer to the end of the year. But ultimately, I came to the decision to push the release date back a little bit and go for a mid-September release. I figured that the changes I needed to make were mostly revolving around the story, the tutorial, and the boss fight in the game, and decided, you know, these probably won't be very difficult changes to make. Certainly not. So I started working at a near self-destructive rate, probably around 60-80 hour weeks for the past 6 months. And here's a list of the changes that I have made basically since the last update video that I made on the game. So what I ended up doing is I added a few new story missions, I redid the entire boss fight, added a new ending cutscene, credits, added a fully
That's good. At least they
new
took the time to
tutorial
fix it, man. Just
segment,
put it out.
intro cutscene,
Like some of these other
overhauled
games
Charles
we get, total
animations
crap.
and sound design, added ambient music and custom chase music for Charles that I didn't make myself because I'm not a musician. I rewrote basically the whole story of the game, the whole backstory and lore, and went through 2 full rewrites of the script. I've gone through tons and tons of iteration on Charles' AI system and the Cultist AI system. I've also made further optimizations to the game. It's optimized by probably an additional 30 or 40% now. I've added 15 or 20 just randomly dispersed secret locations that have extra information about lore as well as extra stuff that you can loot. I've added Steam achievements.
Put a lot of work in. That's good.
Customize the color of your train. I added weapon overheating to make the gunplay a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, there you
I've
go.
done a lot of sort of alpha testing and focus testing in order to make sure that the game
She's cool, man. I like her.
balanced and going in a good direction.
Oh, took some fall damage on that. You see that?
The current state of the game. And what state is that? Well, basically, the game is solidly within its beta phase of development, and the game is fully playable from start to finish. All of the mechanics are in the game. At this point, I'm not adding any additional mechanics before launch. So at this point, all that's really left to do on the game is add voice acting, add translations, and do some additional beta testing and bug fixing. With all that being said, the game is very close to being completed. And at this point, I can safely say that Choo Choo Charles is releasing for Windows PC on Steam on December 9th, 7 a.m. Pacific time this year.
Yep.
2020.
I just put out that video,
sure
guys. It's
to
on my
wishlist
channel.
the
Check
game
it out.
on Steam so that you'll get a notification email as soon as it goes live. And as well as that, at the exact same time that I dropped this video, I also dropped a new release trailer.
There it is. Yep. It's on my channel, guys. Check it out, man.
And updated.
That's it right there.
Really,
Watch
really
his.
awesome. Go watch it. That's all for now, because now I gotta go and actually finish this thing.
He's cool, man. I like this dude. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.